Good morning, Popsy here. We're continuing work on this house. We're getting ready for the daughter and her family. If you go over here in the living room by the front door, you can see where the closet door drags the floor. For today, we can get the door to shut properly.
Popsy, fix it.
If you come over here by the front door, you can see where the closet door drags the floor. So before it gets marked up, we're gonna go ahead and remove the door and get it cut off. Normally I would tell you that we need to just remove the hinge pins as the easiest way. Because it drags the floor and we cannot get the hinge pins out, we're gonna have to just pull the screws out of the hinges. So I'm gonna set you up here and we'll get cracking on that. All right, since we can't open or shut the door completely to remove the hinge pins, the easiest way to do it now is to go ahead and just remove the screws from the hinges. So you want to go ahead and leave one in the bottom. That way it'll hold the door for you. Go ahead and remove all three from the center. And I always recommend removing the hinges off the jamb, because when you go to put it back on, it's going to be a little easier than putting it back on the door slab. Just personal preference. They probably don't really make a difference either way. So we got that done. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove this bottom screw. Hopefully the door hangs out okay. There we go. Go ahead and put a hand on it. There we go. Now with that paint being fresh, it looks like the door's kind of stuck, but it should just pop right off the jamb. So I'm gonna put you on pause. I'll pick you up in the garage and we'll get this door marked out and ready to cut. Hey, all right, Popsy here. We're out in the garage getting ready to lay out and cut this door. Basically, the only tools that you'll need other than your tape measure and pencil to lay it out is your skill saw. Now you can have either a corded skill saw or a cordless skill saw. Comes down to user preference and what you have. I will put a link in the description in case you don't have one and you'd like to get one. We're getting ready to cut this door. You put some blue painter's tape on the bottom of it. It'll help keep it from splintering and stuff. Here's a quick tool tip for you. If you fold your corners of your tape in, then when you go to find the tape, it's easy and fast. You don't have to worry about struggling. So let's go ahead and get a couple strips of tape on this door. We'll tape off both sides. And then that way, because both sides are finished and both sides are there. Now, you don't have to be super clean with it. We just need to protect it. And what the tape does is it keeps it from splintering out so bad, because as the saw blade comes through, it splinters. But by adding the masking tape, it gives that as the final layer, not the face of the door. Turn the door over here. I didn't triangle my tape, but I'm just using it again. Put that there. Seal that down. Seal that down. Then what you want to do, I always just take it, pull up, I don't know, an inch or so, just fold my corners in, and then you leave that little bit of tip right there where it's not folded in, it is sealed down, bam, just like that.
I'm in the material, I'm a guy, I can't help that.
And measure up about a half an inch. Try to keep myself out of your way and measure up about a half an inch. Then I would go up and measure off the top of the door, and that way I can measure me a common number. So we're going to cut the door at 79.5. Come to the other side of the door, pull off the top, mark 79.5. That's going to keep us square to the top of the door. Then what we need to do is get a straight edge a level, a piece of scrap trim, anything like that that's got a good straight edge to work, a 2x4. We're gonna lay that right there on our 2 marks. And then we're gonna draw our line. There you go. Should be able to see that real well. Then what we need to do next, get our saw. Go ahead and remove the battery. Safety first. No sense in losing a finger because you're in a hurry. What we're going to do then is we're going to unlock the plate, the foot plate. We're going to adjust the blade just so it comes through about a 1/4 inch, because that's all we need. Lock that plate down. That's got that there. Now if you look, I need to add a couple more rows of masking tape to the top, because the shoe of the saw is going to ride on the paint. So let me grab that and I'll be right back with you. All right, we got our roll of tape back out of the truck. So what we need to do is just add a couple quick layers of masking tape to protect the painted finish so we don't scratch it with the saw blade. And we only got to do that on the front because the saw's only going to slide on the front. Check it. That's going to be plenty wide right there. So we've already set our blade depth. We got our cut surface protected. We're going to put our battery back in our saw. All right, so we want to make sure that we run our saw to the trash side of the line. That way we only remove the true 1/2 inch that we're trying. If we go to the other side, we're going to remove a blade thickness or about an extra 1/8 of an inch. If you don't feel like you can hold it pretty square and true the whole way through, then you could take a couple clamps and a straight edge and clamp a straight edge to it. I normally do a pretty decent job. Of course, I'll probably fail it today because I'm on camera, but normally I do a pretty decent job, so we're just going to freehand it. Here we go. Alright, and this is why you should make sure that you get a charged battery out of the truck. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back with another battery. We should have checked that before we started. Well, let's go ahead and finish this cut. If you do have to stop in the middle of a cut, what you want to do is you want to pull your saw back 1/8 of an inch or so that it doesn't bind as you key it back up. So you're just going to pull it back just a little bit, let your saw spin up to speed, and then you're going to re-enter into your cut. Trash to fall away and to a chance on tearing out the final edge, we're going to reach around and hold it behind. Alright, now we got all that done, we can get the leaf blower, blow off the trash, and then we can pull the tape off and see what kind of finished product we got. All right, let's pull off some of this tape. See what we got left with here. Hit that with a little sanding block. Fortunately, we have the painters coming back to do some touch-ups, and if we're not happy with this, we can always add it to their punch list. Right here was already puckered up or something because it didn't chip like that the rest of the way. Yeah. So that may have been where it was originally ripped on the floor. We're just going to kind of leave it alone because if we keep messing with it, we're just going to make it worse. Like that. Time you put a little paint in there and it's on the inside of the closet, it's gonna be less noticeable.
Yeah, we'll be alright.
Okay, let's turn the door over. Check the outside of the door. The part that everybody's gonna see as they come and put their jackets in for the party. Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Good and clean. Just hit that little sandal block on the edge. That's just gonna buff that edge off. Keep it from wanting to fray out and all that. All right, I'm gonna put you on pause, pick you up in the living room. We'll rehang this door and see how it fits. Hey, all right, we're back in the living room. We're gonna have Shane help hold this door up for us. We can get at least 2 screws in it. And then we're going to put all the screws in and see where we're at. We're gonna pull this top screw out. Probably bring it, push it in right there. Let me get a top screw set. Now you don't want to set these down with the force of God because you'll strip it out. These are just little bitty screws. There you go. You can let go, Shane.
Yep.
Looks perfect. Well, the true test would be when you shut it, if it actually shuts or not. There we go. Pop that in. Check that out.
Look at that.
The door is no longer dragging on the floor as it was. Now we still have a problem with this door not wanting to shut properly because of the jam, but that's a whole different issue we're gonna have to address. While we're here working on this door, we're just gonna go ahead and try to fix it where it shuts properly. Take a screwdriver and a hammer, pop that bottom hinge out. And I'm seeing this trick, I don't know if it actually works, but you can take an adjustable wrench and move the hinge gears on the frame, work that door over. Doesn't pinch as bad. So we'll see if we can get that to work. And I don't think it's gonna take a whole lot. Then we're gonna pull our door over, put our hinge pin back in.
Wow.
Now that's a quick fix. And if you look, I did ding the trim just a little bit. So you gotta be careful with that, but that did fix the door so that it is operational. And then as your seasons change, it may drag more or less in the summer or winter. But at least for today, we can get the door to shut properly. Popsy out.